The curtains are closing for the winter season of anime this year, and for the first time in a while, we had a pretty calm season. Solo Leveling continued to double down on what it does best, while Dragon Ball canonized a lot of nostalgia for GT fans. On top of that, Apothecary Diaries returned, while Honey Lemon Soda and Metalist debuted, giving us some really good first seasons. Thankfully, Danmachi was also able to regain its footing as it resumed its final airing of episodes for the 5th season. Looking ahead, the 2025 lineup is beginning to amp up with some long-awaited shows and a surprise coming off of Jump Festa. So without further ado, here we are once again with my picks for everything that you should be watching for the 2025 spring anime season. Now to begin with some honorable mentions and continuations. Firstly, the Apothecary Diaries Season 2 will be continuing on into the spring with its second core. I am currently letting it stack at the moment, but I hear it's still just as good as Season 1. Furthermore, Ranger Reject will also be airing its second season on April 13th. I personally did not enjoy this anime as much as I would have liked to, but for those who did, make sure to keep the date on your calendar. Finally, Witch Watch will be the next weekly Shonen Jump anime adaptation coming from Bibury Animation, being the same studio behind 100 GFs. Now, as I am personally disconnected from Weekly Shonen Jump now, I haven't read this one. On top of that, I can't say that the anime looked like something that I would be interested in. However, it survived the axe for a reason, and I do know that there is a crowd out there for it, so if you are a fan, keep on the lookout for episode 1 coming to Crunchyroll. Moving into the full lineup, first up is the return of Delinquent Fighting Mania with Windbreakers Season 2. I won't lie, Season 1 was entertaining as hell with the conflict against Shishitorin. The team behind the anime put up quite a presentation, especially when it came to the choreography, and Sakura's rise to the top is only just beginning. Given where we left off with the impending conflict from the Season 1 finale, alongside the introduction of new characters, it's evident that the fights are gonna keep on rolling. The key visual features a little bit of both established and new characters, and quite frankly, if you are there for it then, you'll be there for it now. Season 2, like everything else, will be kicking off in April and will still be streaming on Crunchyroll. As one of the most heavily anticipated returns for a few years now, Fire Force has finally returned to us, coming from David Pro for its 3rd season. I have seen people begging up and down my Twitter feed for a long time now to see the final portions of this story animated, and at last prayers have been answered. Back when the anime was airing, the conversation about the story was all over the place. Between Shinra vs. Show, powerhouses like Chiron, Joker, and Benimaru, and the overall biblical connections with the Evangelist, there was a lot to talk about with this series. We stopped at a pretty crucial turning point as well, so you can imagine how brutal it was trying to remain anime only all this time. However, the wait is over, and so if you are anticipating the return, then be on the lookout for it in April, and if you need a streaming platform, Crunchyroll still has you covered. Now, coming in at my most anticipated choice this season comes the story Before Deku with My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I read Vigilantes a long time ago and had fun with the story, and at last the world will know the story of the Crawler. Just to clarify a few things, but this anime will be done by Section B of Studio Bones, famously known for Mob Psycho as of late. While you should not expect to see anybody of Class 1A or B popping up, you should expect to see a lot of our adult casts before they were full-on teachers, and of course All For One in his more hidden days. There's some great things to enjoy from this series, especially when looking at Aizawa's backstory, and I think a lot of people will be happy for the world of My Hero to be around a little bit longer as the main story finishes this fall. If there is one thing I'm not looking forward to, it's the comparisons, given this story will thoroughly prove why Deku could not go down the Batman route, but we all know media literacy is a bit low these days. Regardless, this was easily one of the biggest announcements to come from Jump Festa, and as such, make sure to keep out for this series kicking off on April 7th. Pulling back to another Season 2 comes the Shoshimen series' 2nd season. As this was one of my most anticipated around the time of Season 1, I gotta say that I was pleased with the story. It's all one giant mind game weaved between mysteries, and with our duo going in different directions now, I'm not sure what the story will have in store for us going forward. Though I'm sure as long as there are mysteries to solve, the amount of love put into this anime adaptation will continue to reach it head on. Don't know if this new OP will beat out the one by Eve, but Shoshimen will be back in April as well. Moving along, coming from Studio Mappa and is my second most anticipated anime from this season, we have Lazarus. It's been a long time since I've seen a show that feels like it could fit right on in with the early 2000s era of Toonami. Rightfully so, of course, given this is by Shinichiro Watanabe, known for Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, and Space Dandy. Chad Stahelski, known for John Wick, has also designed action sequences for the anime as well. The synopsis details a miracle drug now turning doomsday, as those who have taken it will die 3 years later. As a response to this, a task force of 5 agents is gathered from across the globe in this race against time to find the mastermind and prevent the worst case scenario. Looking at the trailer, I can tell that this show should be kinda dope, and hopefully the writing will live up to it as well. Reportedly, all episodes for the anime have been completed as well, and if this sounds like your thing, then make sure to keep an eye out for it on Adult Swim. Bringing us back into the Gundam universe, Mobile Suit Gundam GQU×6X is up next after Witch from Mercury. I recently went back and watched the entire first Gundam series. As the iconic antagonist Char is making an appearance in this new story, there definitely may be plenty of callbacks, and as such, I expect OG fans to hopefully enjoy this new story. On top of that, the character designer, widely known for their work on Pokemon, named Take, will be doing the character designs. This is definitely another highly anticipated show, so if you're interested in what most likely will be the next Yuri Gundam story, be on the lookout for episode 1 on April 8th. Moving into the Chinese anime world, To Be a Hero is coming worldwide and will be streaming on Crunchyroll. The story seems to be about a world of heroes where people are becoming one more and more every day. No matter the background or the deeds done, only one can obtain the title of X, which seems to be the top of the top. What's gotten people's attention with this series is how the anime will seemingly go through many different presentation styles, from CGI and 2D to even shifting the art style depending on the context. Considering how Link Click is one of my favorite finds to come from this demographic, I urge everyone to give this one a shot, as you may just end up very surprised. Moving into some familiar territory, Your Forma is our sci-fi detective show that rings a familiar bell looking at the plot. If you're somebody who has watched ID Invaded, then this show will definitely be the one for you. The synopsis details the Your Forma being a smart thread technology that allows our investigators to dive deep into people's memories to solve the hardest crimes. With our woman Lee being paired up with an android in order to keep up with her fluent prowess, the two set out to prevent a technological infection that can entrap the entire globe. Pretty straightforward, and it's been a minute since we've had a take on this type of crime solving. Your Forma will be premiering on April 2nd. Moving into my final 2 choices, Studio Wit is back on the menu once more with a remake of Yaiba Samurai Legend. Originally airing in 1993 and created by the legendary Gosho Aoyama, known for Detective Conan, comes the story of a boy aiming to become a real samurai to the modern day. As a lot of us are probably in the same boat, this is gonna be a new one for me as well, but as the staff behind it are incredibly noteworthy names, especially looking at their work behind Attack on Titan, I think we may be in for a treat. So if you're curious to see one of the creations by Gosho Aoyama, then be sure to check out Yaiba on April 5th. As for my final choice comes Apocalypse Hotel. In an era where humanity has vanished from Earth, a hotel robot named Yachio and her companions continue to keep their hotel functioning while waiting for humanity to one day return. The story itself seeks to tell the developments of that miracle, and I can't help but feel that this one may hit you in a really captivating and sentimental way based off the trailer. I'm bracing myself for this story to end up being the surprising gem of the season. I have a good feeling about it, and so I urge people to keep this one on the radar. And with that will bring me to the end of my picks. Overall, the year of anime is officially picking up the pace. The best has yet to come, but the conversation will definitely pick up starting in the spring, and hopefully there are some more surprises here that we may not see coming just yet. With all that being said, make sure to let me know what you plan to watch in the comment section down below, and with that will bring me to the end of this video. As always, thank you for watching, and make sure to let me know all your thoughts about the upcoming spring season in the comment section down below. Stay safe out there until we meet again in the next video.